What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? Okay, I'm gonna be talking about Orumnilla and the motherfucking dress that's up in his head that's finna come on out. That the hairline finna be receding, not decreeing the clear, and them dreads finna be coming up out of that head. But we finna be talking about that head, them dreads up on top of that head, and just the name dreadlocks, period, to where it comes from. Orumnilla really had the nerve to take a lock of my hair out and lock it into his dreads. Child, Orumnilla done did too much. Anyway, now there is a connection between that. Orumnilla taking my hair out as either the Gale or the Coven Leader. It will become clear as the seconds, the minutes, the hours, days, weeks, and months pass us by. Which lifetime this came from? But I believe it was the Coven Leader where he took a lock, cut my hair up out of my motherfucking head, and put it up in his locks. Now let's go ahead and do some decrees. Call our motherfucking like Sparks back. I already did it before, but there's not wrong in doing it again. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up or that had gotten lost or fearful and abandoned me, or I abandoned it or them, within the midst of Orumnilla cutting my hair up out my head when he flew into that rage. Be released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home. Oh, baby, it is safe. It is surely safe. Now, I decree and declare that any and all of my light sparks and soul fragments that had gotten trapped up in Orumnilla'S dreads in any way, shape, form, or fashion are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. Now, this is very, very emotional. I am seeing this scene from that lifetime where I was the Gale. Now, this is a scene, an image of a scene that I've been seeing for years now. I did not know where to put this. Now I know exactly where to put it. Okay. I am also hearing something about painting the town red. In quotations, painting. I'm hearing that specifically. Painting the town red. Like that's something that I would do, or we would do when we went out. As the Gale, when I was the Gale. Okay. Now, with this Inflight, now let's talk about this hair salon. I want to talk about this hair salon that my ex-mother, or Sharita, or Esmeralda, used to frequent when I was a small baby, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, up in that age range. She would go to this hair salon by the name of Inflights. Hair studio or Inflight hair salon. It is not there anymore, but it used to be downtown Raleigh, like right on Fayetteville Street. And I think it had 2 stories and it was upstairs. Now, I bookmarked this for a reason. There was something going on around this time with the Inflights. Now, this is also connected to that my hair being cut off up in the heart by either the Coven Leader, when I was either the Coven Leader or Gale. Now, again, this is going to be becoming clearer. But let's do our decrees and declarations. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of that hair salon in flight, okay, which was downtown Raleigh, be released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Now let's go ahead and talk about motherfucking Wendy Knight looking like a vampire. Just a vampire. She looked just like a vampire, pale. Okay, I don't want to give Wendy too much because Wendy is somebody who I actually love, but I am picking up on something about Wendy and something happening to me when I was a young child. Now, this is also an individual who worked at the hair salon Inflight as well. I'm also getting traces of Wendy from as far back as the Gale. Okay. Either way, let's go ahead and motherfucking snatch our light sparks up out of all this motherfucking artificial beauty. And bitch, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Okay? And I'm talking about everything. I decree and declare any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments, coming the fuck up out of this false beauty industry. And I'm talking about all of them. Okay, like the earliest thing I can remember is like Jet magazine, the Jet Beauty of the Week. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within Jet magazine, Ebony magazine, and the motherfucking beauties of the week at any time be removed, released, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child, which is none other than me. Okay. Now let's talk about the motherfucking modeling industry as well, because I keep getting this image. I bookmarked this when I was about 5 years old, and I was seeing this fashion show on TV. I thought it was very fascinating. I was watching the models strut down that runway, and I bookmarked this for a reason, so that I can recall it now and call my light sparks to energy back from it and the whole entire industry. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of that fashion show that I was watching on TV when I was about 5, Spirit, you know what I'm talking about, be released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Now let's go ahead. I'm talking about take my light sparks out of all this shit, bitch. Clothes too. So let's go down this list. I ain't even got it written down, but let's try to stay focused. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments are coming up out of the entire beauty and fashion industry as a whole. I decree and declare that any and all of my light sparks and soul fragments that are lost or that had gotten stolen within the fashion and beauty, artificial beauty industry are released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Now, I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments be removed from the following and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay, now, hair, everybody's hair. Natural hair, tracks, weaves, wigs, baby hairs, bitch, hair products, okay, makeup. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light, sparks, and so forth are coming up out of all of this false beauty shit, lashes, and being returned to the original owner, the source of them, the mother, the father, the child, the Trinity. Me. Okay? Now, what else? What else? Makeup, clothes, hair, weave, nails, artificial beauty. Any and all of my light sparks that are caught up within any and all. I don't gotta name them all. Artificial beauty are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. Now, I'm also getting some new information as it pertains to myself as the Gale. I'm getting like a night and day comparison between myself before this signing of that contract, that termination of soul contract, and after signing that contract. I gotta tell you that before signing that contract, I was this really sweet and wholesome girl. I did have my power though. But I was really sweet and I was really wholesome. After signing that contract, I became something very dark. I became something very unrecognizable to myself. I did some things that I would not have ever done had it not. But that was because I started to do all the things because of all that witchcraft and magic that had started right after I signed that contract with Orumnilla doing all that magic. On his knees at that altar day and night, praying day and night. Okay? Now, I gotta call my light sparks up out of this transition because there's something about this transition and my spirit keeps flashing it in front of my face. My spirit is flashing my wholesome self in front of my face, but it's like I'm here now embodying the darkness of the Gale. I'm embodying that darkness, but there's something about this that needs to be balanced. So let's go ahead and call our energy and light sparks back. Okay? I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst or that had gotten lost or feared, felt abandoned, or that abandoned me in the midst of that transition from good girl to bad girl after signing that contract, be released, removed, freed, and brought back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? Now, let's talk about this scene. Now, I have been getting the image, like, this image stayed with me this whole entire lifetime, but especially the past 4 or 5 years, this scene or this image has been popping up in my head, and I didn't know where to put it at. Now I know exactly where to put it. Okay, I am seeing myself out and about. I don't know why I'm hearing something about painting. But I am hearing something about painting the town red. Okay. I'm seeing myself leave this place. There is some sort of emergency happening as well as I'm leaving this place. Whatever this is, I bookmarked it for a reason. So I'm remembering this for a very specific reason. Okay. Now this was in that Galleon lifetime where things were more modern than I thought they were. But you know, we had cars and everything in this lifetime as well. Um, so anyway, let's go ahead and call on. So I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments, they got caught up in that night where I was in that rush to leave where I was at and go over to where I was going to. Because I'm picking up on something tragic about that. Released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. I'm also picking up on something about Nikki as it pertains to this lifetime. Not only Nikki, but a couple of others. I'm picking up on Wendy too, and their involvement in this lifetime, or their close proximity to me in this lifetime. Okay. What else did I want to say? What else did I want to say? And I just want to go ahead and decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments, they got caught up within the midst of any of these characters at any time, within any level, as I've dropped down my body. Released, removed, freed, healed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Thank you. Bye-bye.